Materialism is baloney. Brain is a filter like a radio receiver, and consciousness is fundamental and omnipresent. The contents of this video is based on the book Why Materialism is Baloney by Bernardo Kastrup. Materialism posits that all subjective experiences, or consciousness, can be fully explained by the physical brain and its electrochemical processes. There are two main materialistic perspectives of the brain function. Some materialists, like Daniel Dennett, argue that subjective experiences are simply electrochemical processes in the brain, implying that consciousness is an illusion created by these processes. Others, like neuroscientist Christoph Koch, acknowledge that consciousness might be more than just physical processes, but maintain that there is a direct correlation between physical brain processes and conscious experiences. These perspectives, despite subtle philosophical differences, ultimately suggest that the brain causes and fully determines all aspects of conscious experience, which ends upon physical death. However, this view fails to adequately address the mind-body problem. A more coherent alternative is that instead of the brain generating consciousness, the brain might be a filter that localizes and modulates a broader, unbound consciousness. This filter hypothesis posits that the brain selects from a vast array of conscious experiences, focusing on those that align with the body's perspective in space-time. Brain is not the source of conscious experience, but rather a filter. This view contrasts sharply with the materialist view that the brain generates consciousness. This idea suggests that consciousness is fundamental and omnipresent, and the brain's role is to constrain and focus this broad, unbound consciousness into a manageable and localized experience tied to the body's perspective in space-time. Metaphorical understanding. The term filter is used metaphorically. Kastrup explains that the brain is the image of a process by which the mind limits and localizes its contents. This process of localization and filtering creates a coherent, focused subjective experience from a broader consciousness. Empirical correlations. The hypothesis explains why mind states correlate with brain states. When the brain is damaged or altered, the filtering process is perturbed, leading to changes in consciousness. This is analogous to adjusting a radio tuner, which changes the station, the experience, while the signal, consciousness, remains broadly available. Reduction in brain activity. One of the key predictions of the filter hypothesis is that non-local transpersonal experiences can occur when brain activity is reduced. This prediction is counterintuitive from a materialist perspective, which would expect increased brain activity to correlate with richer experiences. However, evidence suggests the opposite. Near-death experiences, NDEs. Reports of NDEs, which often occur when brain activity is minimal or absent, are consistent with the filter hypothesis. These experiences are often coherent, structured, and involve elements that are difficult to explain as mere products of a compromised brain. Psychedelics. Studies have shown that psychedelics, which induce profound changes in consciousness, decrease brain activity. The intensity of the subjective experiences under psychedelics is inversely proportional to brain activity, aligning with the filter hypothesis. Transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. TMS, which can inhibit specific brain regions, has been reported to induce out-of-body experiences, OBEs. This supports the idea that reducing brain activity can lead to expanded, non-local experiences. G-force-induced loss of consciousness. Pilots experiencing GLOC report experiences similar to NDEs, suggesting that reduced brain activity can lead to expansive, transpersonal experiences. Historical and cultural practices. Many traditional practices, such as sensory deprivation and initiatory rituals, aim to reduce normal brain function to access transcendent insights, consistent with the hypothesis. Collective unconscious. The hypothesis also predicts the existence of a collective unconscious, a shared repository of experiences that transcends individual minds. Carl Jung's work on the collective unconscious, supported by transpersonal psychology, provides empirical evidence for this idea. Jung's patients accessed archetypal images and narratives that were not individually learned, suggesting a shared unconscious mind. Materialism posits that consciousness is a byproduct of material processes in the brain. This view leads to the hard problem of consciousness, which questions how subjective experience, qualia, can arise from mere arrangements of unconscious matter. Materialism fails to provide a satisfactory explanation for how conscious experience emerges from physical processes. The brain as a filter hypothesis offers a coherent alternative to the materialist view, backed by a wide range of empirical evidence and making distinct predictions about the nature of consciousness and its correlation with brain activity. This hypothesis not only challenges the materialist perspective, but also provides a more comprehensive explanation for various transpersonal and non-local experiences.